Welcome back to the Tahoe Real Estate Show. Jeff Cowen joins us from TRPA. Jeff, we're talking about a topic that's been really prevalent here in the community for a long time, not only in this community, but communities across the United States. And you're talking about the strong real estate market, affordable homes. Right?
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's hard because they kind of like one cancels another out sometimes, and that's kind of what we're facing here in Tahoe. Major affordable housing crisis. And what we're doing right now, we've had major policy amendments to the land use regulations in the basin, because we've recognized that our regional plan policies are having an effect on this. So our governing board has asked us to come forward with some really radical amendments. Well, not radical, but at the same time. So this year, we are moving forward with amendments that are for deed restricted multifamily housing. And these are quite different. What it does is it allows builders to build higher, denser units in town centers and more coverage. These are big incentives that will help them bring forward deed restricted affordable housing. So this is important because there's a lot of subsidized, publicly helped, publicly assisted affordable housing that's coming forward in the basin. But we need solutions coming from lots of different areas. So along with these incentives, we're getting water quality improvements and investments, upgrades in town centers, and more walkability.
It's not a new concept, but it's relatively new to the Tahoe area. And this is one approach that the agency is taking.
So we've been taking other policy amendments. We allowed accessory dwelling units, up to 2 accessory dwelling units on tens of thousands more properties in the basin. We've allowed tourist accommodation units, motels, to be more easily converted. And then next year we're going into a much deeper, much bigger process. So this year, it's focused on a couple of areas. It's limited to deed restricted and non-subsidized housing only. And there are limits to it, but they have to be different limits. And that's what our governing board has told us. So we're bringing that forward. It's a very open public process, and it includes a lot of environmental analysis. So people can check it out at trpa.gov/housing just to get started. There's email address, contact information. It's a great website.
Step one, starting right now. How about future steps? What's the timeline look like?
So this year, December, we're hoping that the governing board will take these amendments up for consideration in December. The next period is much bigger. We're going through the entire regional plan growth management practices, looking at how the existing development rights that are remaining in the basin, how are they going to be used? Looking at how do we steer things away from luxury like high-end development and get them into more deed-restricted affordable housing, and building equity in the community. We are going to take this significant grant we got from California last year. We're going to be reaching into disadvantaged communities that are really impacted by the housing crisis, and we're going to build bridges between them and the agencies in the basin to really get long-term solutions.
I commend the agency. You're always asking for public input. And so how do people get more involved? How do they find more information?
trpa.gov/housing is a great way to start. We've got a number of public meetings and hearings coming up. There's a schedule on there. Advisory Planning Commission, another go from the committees in November, and then we've been going around the basin since April with this process.
Jeff with TRPA. Want more information, go to their website. Stay tuned, more of the Tahoe Real Estate Show coming right up.